Welcome to the second part of the breastfeeding lecture. We'll start with step 6, which is give newborn infants no food or drink other than breast milk unless medically indicated. Medical indications includes HIV and hepatitis B. Healthy full-term babies rarely have a medical need for supplements or vitamins or prelactial feeds. They do not require water to prevent dehydration. Step 7. Practice rooming in. It allows mother and infant to remain together 24 hours a day. Routine separation should be avoided. Separation should only occur for an individual clinical need. Rooming in, a hospital arrangement where a mother and baby pair stay in the same room day and night, allowing unlimited contact between mother and infant. What are the importance of rooming in? Rooming in has many benefits. It helps babies sleep better and cry less. Breastfeeding is well established. Response to feeding cues is easier. Mothers become confident in caring for their baby, and mothers can see that their baby is well and they are not worried that the baby crying in a nursery is their baby. Baby is exposed to fewer infections when next to his or her mother rather than in a nursery, and it promotes bonding between mother and baby even if mother is not breastfeeding. Studies done by Yamamuchi et al. Showed that roomed-in babies has an increased rate of frequency per 24-hour stay of breastfeeding. Barriers to rooming in may be raised, including concerns that mother is tired, taking the baby to the nursery for procedures, belief that babies need to be observed, there is no space in the ward, staff do not know how to assist mothers, and mother asks for their babies to be taken to the nursery. Step 8. Encourage breastfeeding on demand. Demand feeding is also called baby-led feeding. This means the frequency and length of feed is determined by the baby's needs and signs. What are the importance of baby-led feeding? Baby-led feeding results in more immune-rich colostrum and therefore more protection from illnesses, faster development of milk supply, faster weight gain, less neonatal jaundice, less breast engorgement. Mother learns to respond to her baby, early establishment of breastfeeding, less crying, so less temptation to supplement, and longer breastfeeding development. What are the signs to watch out for in a baby to indicate when to feed the baby? Signs of hunger includes increased eye movement, open eyes, opens mouth, stretches tongue, turns head, whimpers, sucks or chew other object. What indicates that the baby has finished feeding? Signs of satiety includes relaxation of the body and the baby lets go of the breast. What are the different feeding patterns? Some babies feed for a short time at frequent intervals. Other babies feed for a long time and then wait for a few hours until the next feed. Babies may change their feeding patterns from day to day or during one day. Newborn infants usually every 1 to 3 hours in the first 2 to 7 days. Night feeds may vary and important to ensure adequate stimulation for milk production and milk transfer and for fertility suppression. Once lactation is established or the milk supply comes in, 8 to 12 breastfeeds in 24 hours is common. There are usually some longer intervals between some feeds. During periods of rapid growth, a baby may be hungrier than usual and feed more often for a few days to increase milk production. Let babies feed whenever they want. This satisfies the baby's need if hungry or thirsty and the mother's need if her breasts are full. Step 9. Give no artificial teats or pacifiers, also called dummies and suitors, to breastfeeding infants. Sometimes, babies develop preference for artificial teat or pacifier and refuse to suckle on the mother's breast. If a hungry baby is given a pacifier instead of a feed, the baby takes less milk and grows less well. Teats, bottles, and pacifiers can carry infection and are not needed even for non-breastfeeding infant. Ear infections and dental problems are more common with artificial teeth or pacifier use and may be related to abnormal oral muscle function. In the rare situation that a supplement is needed, feeding with an open cup is recommended as a cup is easier to clean and also ensures that the baby is held and looked at while feeding. It takes no longer than bottle feeding. Other alternatives to artificial teats include a cup, a spoon, a dropper, or a syringe. Several videos can now be viewed demonstrating how to cup feed a baby. Step 10. Foster the establishment of breastfeeding support groups and refer mothers to them on discharge from the hospital or clinic. Before a mother leaves a maternity facility, she needs to be able to feed her baby, understand the importance of exclusive breastfeeding for 6 months and continued breastfeeding after the introduction of complementary foods to 2 years and beyond, be able to recognize that feeding is going well, and find out how to get the ongoing support that she needs. A mother needs to understand the importance of exclusive breastfeeding and continuous breastfeeding. Who in the community could provide ongoing support for a mother in feeding and caring for her baby? Usually, there are family and friends, primary care and community health care workers, mother-to-mother support group, and some breastfeeding groups. The key to best breastfeeding practices is continued day-to-day support for the breastfeeding mother within her home and community. In our institution, we have partnered with South Pinanays or SPIN, an exclusive non-government organization breastfeeding group who promotes breastfeeding and supports breastfeeding mother. Forms of support group includes early postnatal or clinic checkup, home visits, telephone calls, community services, mother support groups, and family support system. Breastfeeding continues to be important when the mother returns to employment. Supporting breastfeeding has benefits to the employer. If baby cannot feed at the breast, mother can still do the following alternative to give breast milk: hand expression, using milk from another mother, cup feeding, breastfeeding supplements, and use of breast pumps. Breast milk is important for babies who are preterm, low birth weight, or have special needs. It protects, provides food, and aids in growth and development. Infants who cannot breastfeed but can receive breast milk include those who are very weak, have sucking difficulties or oral abnormalities, or are separated from their mothers. Infants who may need other nutrition in addition to breast milk includes very low birth weight or preterm infants, infants at risk for hypoglycemia, or those who are dehydrated or malnourished when breast milk alone is not enough. Infants with lactosemia should not receive breast milk or the usual breast milks. They will need galactose-free formula. Infants with PKU or phenylketonuria may be breastfed and receive some phenylalanine-free formula. Breastfeeding should stop during therapy if a mother is taking antimetabolites, radioactive iodine, or some anti-thyroid medication. Some medications may cause drowsiness or other side effects in infants and should be substituted during breastfeeding. Breastfeeding remains a feeding of choice for the majority of infants, even if with tobacco, alcohol, and drug use. If the mother is an intravenous drug user, breastfeeding is not indicated. Avoidance of all breastfeeding by HIV mother is recommended when replacement feeding is acceptable, feasible, affordable, sustainable, and safe. Otherwise, exclusive breastfeeding is recommended during the first month, with breastfeeding discontinued when conditions are met. Mixed feeding is not recommended. If a mother is weak, she may be assisted to position her baby so she can still breastfeed. Breastfeeding is not recommended when a mother has a breast abscess, but breast milk should be expressed and breastfeeding resumed once the breast is drained and antibiotics has commenced. Breastfeeding can continue on the unaffected breast. Mothers with herpes lesions on their breast should refrain from breastfeeding until active lesions have been resolved. Breastfeeding is not encouraged for mothers with human T-cell leukemia virus. If safe and feasible, options are available. Breastfeeding can be continued when mothers have hepatitis B, TB, and mastitis with appropriate treatments undertaken. What are the key message of this lecture? Breastfeeding is important to the short and long-term health and well-being of mother and child. Exclusive breastfeeding is recommended for the first 6 months of life. Following introduction of other foods, breastfeeding is still important, and most women are able to breastfeed. They just need proper education. Thank you.